My name is Francesco Davak. I'm an energy analyst in the S&P Global Commodity Insight team. And today I wanted to talk a little bit more about one of the top trends that we identified for clean energy technologies for 2025. We expect clean energy investment to overtake upstream oil and gas spending for the first time this year. And I should make clear that this is based on a relatively narrow and precise definition of spending. It's based on a bottom-up analysis on the supply side of the energy sector. So upstream includes exploration and production capital spending, as well as LNG liquefaction pipelines. And clean energy technology includes all forms of non-hydro renewable power generation, energy storage, low-carbon hydrogen production, and CCS. And we also include in this analysis transmission and distribution, as well as refining and non-renewable power generation. These numbers do not include investment into the demand side of the energy sector, such as energy efficiency, electric vehicles, or electrification of end users. Operating expenses and decommissioning costs are also not included. So really focusing on the energy sector supply side investment, we expect this to grow in real terms by 13 to 15% until 2030. Most of that growth will come from clean tech, which will be 45 to 50% higher by the end of the decade than it is now, while upstream remains relatively constant in real terms. And that means that clean energy technology investment will pass upstream investment in around this year. So let's look closer into that clean tech spending category. Renewable power generation, specifically non-hydro renewable power generation, and storage make up the vast majority of that, or about 95%. Photovoltaics represent more than 50% of this investment, but 2/3 of the capacity, so gigawatts that will be installed. Solar is expected to exceed gas and even coal in terms of installed capacity within this year or next. Battery energy storage will surpass pumped hydro storage this year in terms of capacity. So this massive build out of capacity will require an estimated $650 billion, matching the projected spending on upstream and oil and gas this year. Overall clean tech spending, including hydrogen and production and carbon capture and storage, is expected to reach up to $60 to 70 billion this year. There's one important aspect of this. This spending really represents a profound geopolitical pivot in energy-related investments. It's a shift from spending in hydrocarbon-producing countries like the US or the Middle East to regions with growing power demand, China, or that are electrifying quickly, like Europe. The other shift that's happening is a transition from centralized energy projects to a much more distributed investment landscape. For example, 30% of the clean tech investment that we're seeing is for distributed assets that are smaller than 5 megawatts. So it's happening on people's and small businesses' roofs and behind the electricity meter. However, despite these big shifts and the large headline spending growth, it is still important to highlight that this is insufficient to meet climate goals, and in particular the goal to triple renewable capacity by 2030.